Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. Even though it is 4:05 p.m., guess where I'm at, y'all? In the bed. And I was like, girl, if you're gonna be chilling and relaxing today, if today's gonna be a relaxing Sunday, you at least have to do a little, you know what I'm saying, random afternoon chit chat. What's going on with the people, okay? Because I'm out here trying to like rest a little bit, okay? I'm out here trying to like, girl, just lay down, watch some SpongeBob, and rest your brain a little bit. But I can't not put up content. So I said, come on around here and talk about some random things that you saw on the social of the medias or whatever. Now I'm gonna probably still have a live sometime tonight. I'm probably gonna do Love and Marriage DC tonight. And then get up Housewives of Atlanta and Made to Medicine tomorrow, I think. Okay, I think, but I don't know. But right now, I hope y'all can hear me because y'all know I'm on my phone. Okay, I'm not at the computer. I'm not at my little workstation. I'm in my bed on my cell phone. Okay, I'm up at iPhone in it. But hello to everyone who was popping in to this kind of impromptu, what you're doing, good afternoon chit chat. Okay, because y'all know ain't much going on because I probably already have discussed everything. Girl, you are one of the few people that can get me away from away from Judge Judy. Love you. I'm happy I can pull you away from that white lady. Okay, I'm happy about that. Okay, y'all know to please like the video. Okay, please and thank you. But hello to everyone that is popping on. Okay, what's going on with the random people? You know, just random things. Just random things. Hey to everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Okay. I'm about to go outside, but let me get this melee first. You know, well, okay, yeah, let's have it right there. Now look. Y'all know to do a couple of things around here. First of all, make sure to subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird, Don, and Don. Okay, y'all know to follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG and also on Twitter. I'm more active on IG. I'm also active on Twitter. But you will get a post every day from me on my IG about this, that, or something of the other. Okay? But either way it go, this will not be a long live because again, it's very impromptu. I don't have any real graphics made up, just screenshots from stuff I seen scrolling IG. And I said, oh, I can talk about that. Okay. But hi to the people here. Y'all know to comment in the comment section because it is a conversation. Y'all know to share this video on your social media because it is appreciated. Okay. Now, the couple things I saw that I wanted to discuss. Let's first get into J Lo and Ben Affleck, honey. They is married now. As married now. Daddy, I says I's married now. I mean, they both been married before, Jennifer more than Ben. But nonetheless, Jennifer and Ben Affleck have finally tied the knot 20 years after the first time they was engaged with each other. They both went and got married to other people, had kids with other people or whatever, got divorced from other people. J-Lo got engaged and divorced and engaged and broke up with people over the time. Okay? But the point of the matter is J-Lo and Ben. Jennifer Lopez and Benjamin Affleck are allegedly, apparently, husband and wife now. They went and got a marriage license in Vegas and said, let's do it. Okay. Now, this is the thing. People, maybe I can be people, but people not all people. I'm people. I am people. I'm people. People be like Jennifer Lopez is always moving on to the next one or whatever. She's always in some kind of relationship. And, she's been engaged and married a couple of times. Okay, a couple of times. What I will say is the fact that she never married A Rod means it wasn't meant to be. Because Jennifer Lopez married who she wanted to marry. You know what I'm saying? She ain't scared of a wedding. So for her not to marry A Rod, girl, it wasn't meant to be. Because they was engaged for a while too. But she broke up with A Rod, got back with Ben, and her and Ben been going strong, and they then went to the dang going to the chapel, and they going to get married, and they did. Okay, now per people, okay, per people said, okay, and I'm not people. People said Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck have had the nights, according to multiple sources. The first source was TMZ. Y'all know TMZ always saying shit. So the first source was TMZ. Okay, it says months after revealing the engagement in April of 2022, the couple obtained a license. Okay, in Clark County, Nevada, over the weekend, which they did. Okay, and the duo were at a small ceremony, according to a source. It was a super, super small ceremony. Okay, her mama and kids were there that wanted to be married, so they got married. This is the thing. I feel like because Ben has already had a full fledged wedding when he was married to Jennifer Gardner, J Lo has had 18 weddings already, because she was married to that first dude. It was somebody named Ohaji. Was it Ohaji? It was a waiter dude. She was then, married to the dancer dude. She was then married to Mark Anthony for like 10 years. So I mean, I feel like she's had enough weddings, so maybe she felt like she don't need to have another one. So let's just go down to Vegas and get it done real easy or whatever. Cause I think people were waiting to see, oh, what's gonna happen? How the dress gonna look? Let's see a whole other wedding. And when you get to be a certain age and you've already had a few weddings or whatever, I don't think you need a whole big other one. And I think she realized I don't need a whole big other wedding. I can just move on and get married real quick in Vegas and come back home and have my husband. And who else needs to? Now they said that his kids was there. Yes, Ben has kids with Jennifer Gardner. I'm assuming his kids were there. I'm assuming he would not get married and not have his own children there. Now I don't know about Ben's family in general, like mama, father, but I know he has a couple kids with Jennifer Gardner, the actress. So I'm assuming they were there too, because you don't just out the blue go to get Vegas to get married and bring the female's kids. So I'm thinking he at least, what I'm saying, wanted, that for them. But they're only speaking on who was there for Jennifer's side. But I don't see nothing wrong with it. I like J Lo. I wouldn't say I'm a huge J Lo fan, but I like her. I always play her music. I watch Made in Manhattan when it come on Comcast. I do. Yeah, it already happened. Yep, and I do. She probably do love a wedding. You know what I'm saying? She probably do love a wedding, but we gonna see. How many weddings have J Lo had? I think it's probably been three. I think she's probably been married. Well, let's see. It was Mark Anthony. It was a dancer dude whose name I can't remember, and it was the waiter guy. So I know she's been married three times. So this will be her fourth, but she's been engaged probably she probably been engaged a few times more than that. She was engaged to A Rod. She was engaged to the choreographer dude, Casper. I think his name was Casper Smart. Yeah. So she's been engaged two other times. Okay. So, this is her fourth. I think this is her fourth marriage. but probably her fifth, sixth, or seventh, time being engaged. You know what I'm saying? But this time she went through with it. But I feel like, these two always wanted to get married, so I'm happy for them. I think this is her fourth. Yeah, I think it's her fourth. Well, and if y'all recall, back in the day, the reason they did not get married, and the real reason that J Lo and Ben broke up was because of all the attention they got as a couple. It was so much attention on them as a couple, it ruined it. So that's, in my opinion, why they did not get married back in the day. And because it was so much pressure around them too, it's Bennifer. And I think this time around, they're older now. They both have children now. They're a little bit older. Because again, that was 20 years ago. So, now it could be a thing where they both are like, we don't need the big to do. We don't need all this extra bullshit going. Let's go get married. Let's let it be that, and let us be us. And sometimes that's what's gonna happen. Okay, J Lo would do it until she get it right. And that's the thing. She was married to Mark Anthony for 10 years, so she had one, successful 10-year marriage. Ben and Jennifer Garner were also married for years. So they both had successful marriages that lasted, what I'm saying, a long time, and then they got divorced. So, I think they both grown. So we'll see what happens. Right, congrats to them. Congrats to them. Because it is what it is. She's doing it to do it. Do it till you're satisfied. You know what I'm saying? She doing it, and she doing okay. Three, that's not bad. She'll have a slot to get right. Cause you gotta catch up with Liz Taylor now. You have to do that. And look, if you are happy and in love with someone and you want to get married, that's fine. And if it don't work out, you just get divorced and try it again. You brush yourself off and you try it again, okay? My fellow Bronx girl just loves to be in love. The world needs more love, so do you benefit, okay? Right. Plus, they save a lot of money going to Vegas. They want a marathon, a wedding, and it's definitely a difference between the two. If you're not fitting the bill for the occasion, stay out of it. I've always said people sometimes be trying to have these weddings, okay, and they be forgetting it's supposed to be about a marriage. That's what it's supposed to be about. And if all you care about is the wedding of it all, the dress of it all, the the party of it all, and not the actual marriage of it all, then you might be in it for the wrong reason. So let's hope. And there's nothing wrong with people who want to, have a great wedding, because you can want to have a great wedding. But once the wedding becomes bigger than what the marriage is, that can ruin things. Okay. And I'm like, I hope this time it works out for the all of it. I think she really loved Mark. I think she loved every person she was with. Honestly, I do. I think she probably also loved A Rod. But that relationship always seemed like it was a Macy's ad. Like Macy's want to put the pretty woman with the handsome man and some nice clothes, and it's a look. You know what I'm saying? It's a look. And I always felt like, they just, it's like a catalog, But we shall see what happens as it, because they may stay together, and or whatever. Anywhere it go, we wish them well. Okay, we wish them well. Ben used to say in interviews that people had a problem with her being Puerto Rican, and with him being, or her being Puerto Rican and being with him. He and I the rest of it. Well, yeah, but I think it's because people put so much pressure on them as who they were. Because if that, when J-Lo was with Ben, I think that was the biggest time in her career as far as how much support she had. Even now, people support J Lo, but back then, like she was that girl. You know what I'm saying? She was the quintessential Puerto Rican um princess. You know what I'm saying? And but it was what it was. Okay, but I think people sometimes put too much pressure, and they don't realize you just two individuals who want to be together, and all that pressure. All that pressure. So yeah, we're gonna wish them the best. You know what I'm saying? Hey mom. Hey mom. Hey mom. Yes, the A Rod relationship did absolutely feel superficial. And I won't, I won't even say superficial, but what I will, it just felt, because I won't say it was fake. I don't think it was fake. But I do feel like it was just something I was like, do I want to buy that coat she wearing? So it's like when I looked at them, I felt like they were selling something, and then I didn't really want to buy it. I was like, if I gonna buy that, I don't know if I'm gonna buy that. Okay, because we never know. Now something else I want. Well, you know what? Just a little bit of coleslaw. Look, a little bit of coleslaw. Y'all know we had the whole coleslaw conversation that happened with her meltdown or whatever, and we put up. Well, we talked yesterday about that crazy fan who was out here trying to take the lady's the website name and all these things. And we had the whole conversation yesterday. And I said yesterday, I said, watch, she can go live. I said, watch Ariana go live towards the evening time, honey, because that's what she do. I said she gonna probably go in that live and not say nothing, and that's gonna be that. And that's exactly what she did yesterday. Yesterday evening, she popped on live for a good minute, maybe 2 minutes. It's really nothing. And it was her that the baby, her sister, whatever, and the son was screaming to her. That's he be crying. You hear me? And kids cry. So I'm not calling him a crybaby, but I'm like, whenever anyone touches him or whatever, he be like, leave me alone, no, or whatever. But she did post, I did post on her IG. I wish I could go back to the days when I had privacy and no one knew me. My sisters. Okay, if you say so. And I know it's a whole big, coleslaw, gratuity curry. Currently, the conversation surrounding her is a lot because she isn't someone who's famous. We absolutely know that Ariana Coleslaw Gratuity Curry is not someone famous. However, we do watch her to laugh at her. That is also true. Um, but her saying that she wish that she can go back to the days when she had privacy. I mean, I feel like all you have to do is make your page private. All you have to do is really not post yourself so much. She could create a whole new page under a whole new name and only have people who she really rock with follow her if she really wanted privacy. It's like I feel like Beyonce has a whole private IG page. I feel like we think, oh, Beyonce is never online. Beyonce is never right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no. I really feel like if you really want to have a private life, you could absolutely have a private life. You do not have to be public. But at the same time, she be around here wanting the attention. And because she be wanting the attention, I mean, she just getting it. And that's what it is, and that's what's going to be. And I can also understand her wanting to have a more private life. I can understand her wanting people to not know who she is. I can understand all of that. But what the way to do that is to stop making everything public under a public page. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to draw the line somewhere. And Cole just won't do that. But I told y'all her ass was gonna go live. Okay. I told y'all that I was like, I know it's gonna happen, and she sure enough did. Now she didn't stay on until long because that damn son of hers was out here, honey, that baby's sick. And I feel so bad because his cough is so bad. And I almost feel like I'm not gonna say that. I feel like Mel is responding in her own way just by showing her out with her kids who are all happy, healthy, having fun. And then, she out and about or whatever. And then we have Cold Sock, Trudy Curry, who is on her social media with her sick child. And I feel like, girl, I just want you to stay off live and tend to that baby because his cough is so bad. Like, figure out what's up with this cough. But she ain't gonna do that because that's not what she do. That's not what she do. That's not who she is. But let's move on to Lonnie Love. This is the randomest of topics, okay? And we not gonna be on here that long because it's today's rest day. Um, Lonnie Love had posted on social media that Lonnie Love is now one of the hosts, the new host on like E's Pop Show, whatever. But she was already like stepping in, kind of hosting on that, even while the real was still on. And when the real ended, she's been full time over there on, I think it's called the Pop. It's called the Pop. I don't know. But anyway, she posted about how they gave her a solo birthday surprise. She posted, I was on the show for 8 seasons and never got a birthday surprise. I am humble for this. Thank you to my E News fam, okay? Because for her birthday, they surprised her, blah, 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 blah. Now, after Lonnie posted that, somebody posted, because people are petty, because people are petty and they don't forget nothing, okay? The World Wide Web shows it all. And somebody posted a clip of while she was on the reel. They were showing how her and I think Tamara got a birthday surprise on the show. And they were like, oh, so you said you've never had a birthday surprise, in 8 seasons. Why you're lying? Is what they meant. Because anytime someone posts proof of what you said, it means why you're lying, okay? And Lonnie said, like I said, I'm sorry, y'all. Like I said, I never had a solo one. Okay, that was a combination one. I said, well, that's true. That's true. And so she kind of put her point and sent it. Now, publicist came out and posted, okay, on here. And they said, Lonnie, as a publicist, I pitched many ideas to surprise you with some of my clients and was always shot down by the EPs, meaning the executive producers. I'm sorry you had to endure that for 8 seasons and thankful E is honoring you. Happy birthday. Now, y'all do know for most of these shows, usually they do surprise the host with birthday stuff and all of Daily Pop. Sorry, I was on the different screen. Daily Pop. Um and that do usually happen, you know. Um my throat, honey. Oh, I ain't saying my comments. Do we know Martell's other side pieces? No, then she took up could have had anonymity. That's true. Why should I take him to the doctor? Because she's a little bit crazy. Oh, good as one for the cuckoo's nest. Okay. Right. Love, light, and positivity in the midst of the foolishness. Okay. Um. So yeah, it's the Daily Pop show. Them girls hated being on the rail. She said it was her worst experience, but grateful for the opportunity. I feel like a lot of people like to blame Lonnie. I think a lot of people don't like Lonnie, and they have that right to not like the lady. But I feel like you can't blame one person for all the issues on the show. You can't. I feel like all of them ladies had issues with that show. I honestly feel like that's why Tamara left, truthfully, because Tamara could have easily still did all the other things she had going on and been on the real still. I think she just felt like, okay, it's time to go. Okay, it's time to go. Um, yes, they did because her and Tamara had summer birthdays, which was their off season. But I think even was they off in the summer? When I don't know. I don't know. Her point was they never gave her any kind of solo birthday shout out except the one time they had the surprise between her and Tam. Um and that's just what it is. And yeah, I agree, Ebony. Now that the one is over, she's sharing her frustrations. I can relate to when the job is over, you can open up about how it sucks. And a lot of people don't get that when you're on a show, when you're on a job, be it a show, a movie, or whatever it may be, you really don't want to speak negatively while you're still there because that's still your check. It's a check. So it's weird how I feel like people want to hear people complain about something while they're there because you can go to work and be fine and let that be that. But it's something different when you are done with the show and you can then not even dog the show, but just say how it wasn't the best experience. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it was, I'm grateful that I had that chance to be there. So it's like, it is what it is, okay? They are off in the summers because they always said they had a school summers off. But some shows will still show some kind of surprise or some kind of birthday, whatever people. But I'm just saying what they said. That's what they said. Uh, that's still your income until you find out the gig. Upper management will meddle with you if you complain. Shoot, they may also meddle your if you don't complain. Right. And I'm like, it is what it is. Right, like Amanda did. Amanda was there, and when she left, she voiced her frustrations. I think the only one, even I think even Tamar said little stuff once she was gone. I mean, Tamar was more pissed because they fired her, but Tamar even, you know what I'm saying, voiced issues, that had went on that show while she was there. I think most of it I really feel like it came from the people behind the show really wanted to control stuff so much that they may have felt like they had, not as much control. When Amanda Seals talked about how, the Caucasian people who were producers would try to produce these black segments, quote unquote, it was frustrating for them to not really know what they were doing and talking about, but wanted the girls to, handle things or whatever. So I can get how it was just some B of the S, just some B of the S. Um, is she a guest host or full time now? She's a full time host on that show. Once everyone left, they had bad things to say except Tamara. And I feel like Tamara, the reason I think she probably won't ever complain is because she doesn't seem like a complainer. Not to say that she isn't authentic in how she feels, but I think she just tends to either hold stuff in or complain, to the people in her life and not publicly complain about stuff. And I think that's just kind of her. That's just how she is. So I'm not surprised about that. But the fact that when the show ended, we seen the live that Amanda Seals was Amanda Seals, Jenny Mai, and Adrian all did together. Meaning it really wasn't any bad blood between the ladies. Okay, it was really more like the show. And I do feel like Lonnie got the brunt of the hate. I don't know if that's because Lonnie is a plus size woman. I don't know if that's because Lonnie is also, she was the most she was the darker skinned person on the show as well. I don't know. But I do feel like it's hard to, I don't like when people try to blame one person for everything who wasn't in charge of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of the crazy thing for me. I feel like over the years, everyone has mostly blamed Lonnie for stuff, and I always would be like, "Well, why they do that? And then why they do that?" Um, Lonnie hung the longest, right? I think so. Well, yeah. Well, no. Lonnie, Adrian, and Jeannie Mai were all there from the beginning, so they all, started it and ended together. But I feel like they just always not they in the late. I mean, people who watch the show when anytime something went wrong, they would try. Oh, it must be Lonnie. It must be Lonnie. And so that has to be unfair. And for Lonnie to say, I just felt like in 8 seasons, they've never given me any kind of birthday surprise. And me as a first time, full time host on this show now, they at least acknowledging my birthday. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think. You know what I'm saying? We have to sometimes just acknowledge that, what I'm saying? It may not be all Lonnie. It may be whoever else. Let's get into the Sesame Street of it all, honey. The people who we have to sometimes want to punch in the throat because they want to be the S. Okay. A woman posted this on social media about they were at the little Sesame Street parade or whatever, and it was her two daughters who were trying to get, the attention of the little Muppet Man or whatever. Now the video, and again, y'all know I don't have the right graphics because I'm in my bed. Okay, I'm in my bed. I want y'all to know I'm in the bed. I hope my camera the right way. Let me see what my camera is, because it may not be the right way. See my camera dirty. Turn my camera off. I'm in the bed, clothes, everywhere, stuff, stuff, whatever. But again, I don't have graphics the right way because I'm being lazy today. So we don't have the video. Y'all can find it also on social media. Anyway, so this woman's two children, they are at this Sesame Street's parade and whatnot, and we see them walking, and we see the little blue man, little teal blue man or whatever, mint green, do or legs. I don't know who was under there. Were waving and greeting folks walk as they're walking up or whatever. And when the little green man gets to the two little black girls, the damn thing literally looked down at them and like waved the hand or like no, like said no. I won't acknowledge y'all. After fully acknowledging and waving and shaking hands with the little Caucasian kids, okay, or kids with no melanin who were on the side. So you gonna up here and say no to my children? To my children? I can punch you in the throat. Not acknowledging my kids. Okay, no. The puppet's name is Rosita. So Rosita's ass up here being rude to the black children. And you see the kids look, cause like it wasn't, and this is my thing. I get sometimes while walking, you don't realize that someone's trying to get your attention. That was not what this was. This Muppet, Rosita, clearly saw the two black kids waving and reaching to shake Rosita's hands. Again, Rosita's ass had already shook the hands and touched hands with people who were, right before these two little black girls. And it was the acknowledgement of the two black girls being there and shaking Rosita's head no and doing the no hand that would have gotten Rosita's ass kicked. You hear me? Gotten Rosita's ass kicked. You as Rosita Muppet, your only job is to acknowledge the fans because the kids are the ones who watch your show. The kids are the ones who buy y'all merch. The kids are the ones who support y'all as the characters y'all play on these TV shows or wherever the hell Rosita's at. Because I don't know where Sesame Street even comes on because I am 40 years old with no children who watch Sesame Street. So these are literally the fans of the show, and again, you can't say no to the babies. And the kicker is it was not by accident. Cause I watched the video about 4. I'm like this. I'm like, so you looked right at the kids and said like, no, 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 no. But you had just acknowledged the other kids, and you can't even blame COVID because you got the Muppet gloves on. The kids can't get you COVID from over there. It's not no touching because you close to everybody. My thing is, I would have been like, you know what? Who got my bail money? Hold my phone. Hold my phone because I don't want them to take my phone to prison because I'm finna go to jail. You hear me? I'm finna go to jail. You hear me? Because how dare you purposely pass over two little black kids after acknowledging all the white people before them? Yes, excited and ready because they were watching Rosita's ass acknowledge and interact with the other kids as the parade is going on. The only thing that you doing there, Rosita, was greeting and acknowledging children or adults. You know what I'm saying? But you're doing shit on the parade route. The Muppet would have got her ass mollywopped. You hear me? I would have gladly paid whatever bail money I paid. Cause how dare you ignore my and I was let me not promote violence. Let me not promote violence. Don't promote violence, Jaylee. Okay, I would not have fought Rosita, but I would have for sure stopped Rosita in her tracks, cussed her ass out in front of my kids. Okay, with no cuss words, but I would have went off. I would have stopped the parade. Okay, the whole parade would have stopped. It would have ceased. Okay. And me and Rosita would have been fussing. And if she want to tussle, we can tussle. But she would have for sure stopped, talked to my kids, and said, I'm so sorry for being rude to you. Okay. Rosita should not be rude. The R in my name doesn't stand for racist. Because the only reason Rosita, to me, ignored these two kids is because they black. Because what other reason is there when you were just waving and hollering and acknowledging the white folk on the other side? And Rosita is Hispanic. She's Hispanic. Now, the only Spanish I know is hola, como estas. That's it. You know, and I can say uno, dos, tres. I can count up like 10 in Spanish. Okay, that's it. But how dare you, as a person of color, Muppet, ignore people of color? My kids be like, fuck Rosita. You hit me, it'll be a F. It'll be a FR. Okay, fuck Rosita playing around here. It's crazy. So yeah, I will say that I would not have gotten physically violent because violence begets violence, and we do not have to be physical with people. But I would have stepped in front of her, blocked her way, and said, "Excuse you, I know you did not ignore my kids. I know your Muppet ass did not ignore my children. You, it would have been that whole thing. It would have been that whole thing, and it would have been stupid because." You could have just said hello to my kids. All she had to do was wave. That's it. You did not have to pick them up, buy them clothes, get them a juice. You didn't even have to stop and have a conversation. All you had to do was wave at my kids and keep walking. Touch their hand as you walking and keep the fuck going. But no, you out here being a racist Hispanic Muppet to black children? Really, Rosita? Somebody get Al Sharpton on the line. Somebody get the Reverend. Somebody call Johnny Cochran. Somebody call heaven and ask Johnny Cochran to come down here. Okay? Oh, I'm mad. I was like, I cannot believe Rosita. Can't believe Rosita out here. And this is the thing. I want to know who was Rosita that day. Who show me who wore the suit that day. That's who I want to beef with. If and this is the thing. What if the person up under Rosita's outfit is like a white, you know, crazy person who out here trying to also harm Rosita's image and only talk to white people? Who was the person wearing Rosita's outfit? I need to know. Because that's who ass I want to beat. You hit me? Anyway, y'all. Let's move on to my next random conversation. Y'all know they say Drake got arrested in Sweden. I say Drake in Sweden. What? This is first of all. Look, I am very much so I don't want. I have no desire to travel the world. I am perfectly happy being in my own country that is on some bullshit at most times. In my own state, in my own city, I am perfectly okay with that. I don't want to travel the world. Like I don't mind going to a place in the US of the A. Okay, but I don't like flying. I'm scared to fly. Flying is not my thing. I would drive where I need to go, and that's it. But sometimes when folks just be in other countries, I'm like, what y'all doing over there? Like, you speak the language? What's going on? So Drake was in Sweden, and they kept saying that Drake was arrested or he was detained over there. And first of all, when somebody posted, oh, Drake, Drake is, being detained in Sweden for some reason, they compare, Drake being detained to, oh, let's see what happened with Drake being detained there versus Brittany, who's detained, over there in Russia. And so I had commented, I said, first of all, if Drake is detained anywhere, that's on Canada. America don't have shit to do with getting Drake out of prison. Okay, if Drake is somewhere locked up, got me locked up, they won't let me out. Call Canada. That them his people. You hear me? But they kept saying um he was detained and his people he's not detained. That isn't true. I said if it ain't true, why Drake ain't saying shit? If somebody ever say, oh, Jaylee is arrested, I would immediately be like, what the fuck? No, I'm not. I'm right here. So I'm like, when Drake wasn't the one who made a post saying he wasn't locked up or whatever, I said, oh no. Oh no. He probably is somewhere, you know, behind some bars getting questioned or whatever. And I was like, see, you over there in Sweden for what? For what? What we over there for? Uh, we don't know. So Drake himself posted how he got a letter from the Sweden people, which makes it seem like he was detained because the letter that he posted from them people was basically saying, hey, bro, you're around here being held. These are your rights as someone being held. Now, I know y'all can't see that. Let me put on my glass. Let me read y'all a little bit to say. Information for those suspected of a crime and subsequently detained. Over there in Sweden, and it just say how you have the right to know why we are detaining you. Okay, you have the right to get some attorney people. Okay, you have a right to get some food and some water and some rest. Okay, if you need to be, if you are physically hurt or harmed, you get some health and medical treatment. Okay, and if you need assistance, we can assist you in notifying your family that we got your ass in here. Okay, and I was like, oh, and then say, if you are being detained, it'll be a possible interrogation, and if you are taken into custody, you are normally obligated to remain from interrogation for a maximum of 6 hours. So I was like, at the end of the day, I want to know, what did Drake do to get detained? Okay, what happened there? But either way it go, Drake will have to call Canada, not America. Okay, so we're gonna leave it be. Is his baby mama? I'm not sure I'm not sure where she's from or where she is, but I think she live in Canada. I think she live in Canada. I don't think she lives, but I don't know I don't know where they live. Okay, but I feel like he wasn't over there visiting his son. I feel like he was over there. I don't know, building a basketball net. It could be anything. Drake is supposedly here because he was posting on social media. Yesterday, wrong button. So he free now, but I feel like he was absolutely detained. He just wasn't arrested. Not over there hoeing. How you gonna be prom queen 2022? You don't want to fly the plane to the other patch? I would drive to the patches. Okay, I would drive to all the other patches. Okay. Oh, see, she's from France. See, he wasn't even visiting his son. And he was in the wrong country. Okay, Drake don't know no better. But that's all I really had with Drake. Let's get on Rickey of the Martins. Living la vida loca. Ricky Martin out here living la vida loca. Okay, because when I first heard this story, I said, "La vida loca, living Ricky Martin out here with his neck." I was like, "What is going on here?" Hey y'all, take a little second and like the video. Because liking is always the thing to do. Okay, let's get into Ricky of the Martins. It is a mess. You know, it is a whole mess. And I was like, what? And when I first heard it, I was like, he dating his nephew? I was like, that's nasty. That's nasty. Somebody please call 911. What is going on, Ricky? What are you doing? You can't be ruining living a vida loca. I know he has other songs, but that's the only song he has I know. Living a vida loca. He will tell you. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, now Ricky Martin is being accused. Okay, it's the accusation. He's been accused by his 21-year-old nephew of domestic violence and also of them having a ongoing sexual relationship. And I was like, wow. Okay. Now, Ricky Martin himself has denied all this shit. Okay, all this shit. Even though there's a hearing set in Puerto Rico later this month. Now I'm gonna read y'all what Deadline said because I'm in my bed. So I didn't have time to pull up nothing. Okay, I'm gonna read y'all what Deadline said. Okay, so Ricky Martin never had any kind of sexual or romantic relationship with his nephew, per his lawyer. Even though he's facing the allegation of domestic abuse from the younger family member who lives in Puerto Rico. Okay. They said, unfortunately, the person who made the claim is struggling with deep mental health challenges. That is all per Ricky Martin's lawyer. Okay. Says Ricky Martin has, of course, never been and would never be involved in any kind of sexual or romantic relationship with his nephew. You know what I'm saying? The idea is not only untrue, it is disgusting. And it is. Because I was like, what? What are you doing? No. I also believe this can be true as well. This is the thing. We live in a world to where you can't, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If someone comes out with an allegation, it's like, oh, you have to believe the accuser. But also, if you believe somebody with no proof, people you believe anything. So it's a catch-22 to where I feel like, it sounds real messed up. The reason we can't say the boy lying is because you never know. We hear of all kind of crazy things happening with people, and someone will say it happened. We don't believe them, and then in hindsight, this shit did happen. Okay. The lawyer also said on behalf of Ricky Martin, "Live la vida loca." Okay. We all hope that this man gets the help he so urgently needs, but most of all, we look forward to this awful case being dismissed as soon as the judge gets to look at the facts. Okay. The facts. Now, it says that Ricky Martin has been confronted with a temporary restraining order in the past weeks, and most recently with further claims of violence and more of and more in the fallout from the supposed 7 month intimate affair with his nephew. And I was like, that is kind of crazy. Now the hearing is set for July 21st in Puerto Rico. Now in Puerto Rico, not in America, in Puerto Rico, if domestic abuse with a relative is found to be, true, it's a felony. And you could get up to 50 years in jail if found guilty. I was like, what? That's crazy. That was crazy. Because we just don't know. Because it could be true, could not be true. Domestic abuse implies partner. Who's his partner? Well, the nephew was saying they had a 7 month long relationship. So that's the it is, but the laws there are still different though. Is my point. You don't get 50 years here in these states. So Puerto Rico is a part of us, but it's still they still have their own separate laws. So is what I'm saying. But the reason the partnership is because the nephew was claiming they had a 7 month long relationship, and that's the issue that he's trying to say. And the man in the picture is Ricky Martin's brother, who was the father of the nephew. Now, I feel like I want to know what proof will Ricky Martin have. You know what I'm saying? And what proof does the nephew have? And because it's like, did you know your nephew was gonna try to say that y'all was fucking around? And if you did, why didn't you get a PPL? I'm just wondering. So it's just hard situations of like, well, what proof do you have? Like, if you have proof that your nephew suffers from mental health, situations, that doesn't make what he's saying not true. So it's just weird. The guy in the picture with Ricky Martin is his brother. So that is the father of the nephew. Why did nephew go along with it for so long? I don't know. People do, all kind of just nasty shit. Because I didn't get a screenshot of this, but even the conversation, Elon Musk, who was supposed to buy Twitter, but he's not gonna buy Twitter, whatever they beefing. His father recently came forward saying that he had fathered two children with his stepdaughter, who he had raised since she was a kid. And I'm like, the fuck is wrong with people? That is crazy. So it's always like we hear these crazy stories of things that happen, so nothing is ever too far fetched because we hear crazy shit. And with Elon Musk daddy saying how, yeah, we were put on this world to procreate. You know what I'm saying? And if I could have, the man daddy, the nigga like 80. And again, just had his second child with his stepdaughter, meaning he was married to her mama, helped raise the girl when she was a child, and then now that she's in her 20s, he didn't knock the girl up twice. I say, ain't that some shit? Okay, if they've been intimate, the nephew probably got steamy text, dick pics, maybe maybe a G string. You never know, but that's true because that is how some people, um, that's what they do, and that's why one should not get in any relationship with anyone you're related to. That's literally called incest. And secondly, if you are having a relationship with people, they can use your text against you because you can say, "Oh, we wasn't messing around," and lo and behold, in their phone is your dick. And Ricky Martin, there is no way for you to explain if that man has a photo of your penis. Okay, so yeah, if the nephew has any kind of evidence of any texts or photos or honey DMs or whatever from Ricky the Martin to him, Ricky Martin, you hit. You in prison, bro. 50 years. You're gonna be in prison singing Living La Vida Loca. Okay? Don't do that, okay? Right. Woody Allen, who married his stepdaughter and they had kids. I can't remember if they're married still now, but that happened too. So it's like it's something that is never too far fetched. Because we hear about these people in these places, these cults or whatever, these different things of people who will, just be willfully being with relatives and forcing the females in their family to do things as if the shit is cool, and it isn't. It's insane. So Ricky Martin being accused of having a relationship with his nephew is disgusting, yes, but it's not too far fetched. It isn't. We see crazy shit happen every day, B, and I don't like none of it. Okay. Let's move on to something else. Okay. Let's get us a little bit of Kanye West chats. Okay. Kanye West was supposed to be at Rolling Loud. The concert is happening. The festival is happening next weekend, and Kanye West has pulled out at the last minute, and now he has been replaced with Kid Cudi. He was a headliner. Kanye West was headlining this shit. I'm like, why does Kanye West be around here falling out of line of stuff he's supposed to be in at the last minute? Why does he do that? Does anybody know? He pulled out of Coachella at the last minute as well, and they had to replace. I think he was replaced for Coachella with the weekend. And this time he's been replaced by Kid Cudi. Um, Look, this is my question to y'all. If you had bought tickets to a festival concert, and y'all know usually these tickets, be kind a little bit of expensive. You have to plan a trip to go or whatever. So people probably has paid and set up shit to go to see Kanye of the West. And the week before the concert, the headliner pulls out. Would you want a refund? Would you just go see Kid Cudi? Because I don't know much of Kid Cudi's music. I know a couple songs, not many. Um, I'm assuming he has enough songs to be a headliner. I'm hoping, but I like for the fans. I would be pissed as a fan if I had planned to come to the damn concert to see a headliner, and then the week before the head, like, who you complain to? So Rolling Loud or to Kanye? Look, I would personally. I need Kanye West's phone number. I need to call him. To Kanye West, you owe me $789. That's how much my ticket costs and my flight or whatever. I don't know, but when the headliner pulls out at the last minute, and let's say it has nothing to do with anything, mental health wise or health wise. Let's say that Kanye West just didn't feel like it. I don't feel like it. Okay, can you be mad at that man? You know what I mean? I need my money back. This is also the gotcha. I feel like Kanye West is so fickle. I would never want to have a festival that includes many other artists with him as a headliner. He would have to be someone who might show up. He would have to be the one whose name is in small print because he has a tendency to just either do too much, not do enough, or out the blue not want to do it at all. And when that happens, I as a fan would have been pissed because I didn't pay. Look, I didn't pay to see Kid Cudi. I didn't. And not only that, Kid Cudi fans who probably would want to see him headline would only have a week's notice. Refund me, please. you know, Probably the thing because mental health is sketchy. I think Kanye West is sketchy because he just doesn't live in our reality. I really feel like he lives in an alternate reality in his head. And so that's the main reason why I would never want to have him as a headliner. Right. Run me my money. You hear me? The festival is happening in my neighborhood at Hard Rock. It's a festival, so you're going to get a variety of happens. I get that. My point is, if he's supposed to be a headliner, that's what I paid to go see. I didn't pay to see Kid Cudi because a lot of people probably get paid to see him in particular. So if you really paid to see Kanye West and he ain't coming and he was the headliner and it's not Kid Cudi, I would be like, you know what? Can I get a refund? Can I get a refund immediately? You know, because you plan for stuff, even though it's other people who's gonna be there. I get that, and it's a whole festival, which means it's a plethora of people who gonna be there. Okay, but we hope whatever's going on with him is fine, that he's getting better. Okay, messed up. It's hard to get refunds promptly sometimes, and some places will tell you up front like no refunds. No refunds. Okay, and I be like, not with my goddamn money. Um, I think Kanye going through it. I remember he said at the BT Awards he was going off the grid and that puppy had to call him a couple times. Had to call him a couple for him to come to the awards. I agree with Kanye West sitting down, but I feel like you should know when to tell people that you need time to sit down. And it should not be a week before the show. Because, you know what I'm saying? That just messes up stuff. Because then Kid Cudi got to get that set prepared. You know what I'm saying? Because with these concerts and these festivals, like they be having to get shit together. You hear me? Together. Um, so I just wish she would have said it sooner, more than anything else. But I really do wish that whatever he's going through, that he gets better, and that what I'm saying, his mental health goes amazingly well. Let's get into the bullshit that never stops. This is the song that never ends, and it goes on and on, my friends. This stupid the verses, the verses. Sorry, y'all. Mario and Omarion. The verses that just will not stop creating more and more beef from whoever. So Omarion was doing a little interview and he was speaking about the whole versus situation. I really wish everyone would just stop talking about the versus stuff because it's too much. But Omarion was basically was basically trying to blame what's that Mario's people for what went wrong. And I was like, sir, are you sure you want to say that? Are you sure that you want to blame, you know, Mario for your vocals being, not on par with what they're supposed to be on par with? Because Mario can't control your throat as much as other women may want Mario to control our throat. He doesn't. Okay, not at all. And I was like, maybe that isn't the thing to do. Okay, maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to chill out and really be truthful and say, you know what, I had a bad night. I didn't sing the best. Now I'm gonna play the audio for y'all. I just had to put up my phone, my other phone, to hear what he said. Somebody representing my sound, but actually Mario's people were representing the sound in the beginning, So, there kind of could have been some level. We would have, somebody representing my sound, but actually Mario's people were representing the sound in the beginning, So, there kind of could have been some level of sabotage, there, but it's like we would have, somebody representing my sound. But so not sabotage. So when Mario then commented and said, "Oh, this guy, man, how can someone sabotage your vocal cords, bro? Stop making, stop, stop smoking, bro. That's it, Sam. Some artists can't do that. You're not one of them. I apologize to my team for these uh atrocious accusation. I don't have my glasses on, y'all. These atrocious accusations. Listen, I didn't have the best vocals that night, but I refuse to blame anyone. You have them watermelon seeds stuck in your. You have them watermelon seeds stuck in your windpipes. Leave Rio out of it. So do y'all feel like Mario has a right to say, bruh, you can't sing. You hear me? Leave it be. Don't write. Take this L and sit down. Don't do that, okay? Right. They're not Millie Vanilli. Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I love you. It's weird. It's like, stop. Stop. You know what? I think it is? I feel like Omarion has said for so long that he was unbothered that he felt like people needed to like hear from him all of a sudden. And I was like, no. No. And at this point, I think if anybody is even asking you in interviews about the verses, just say, I had a bad night. Like, if you accept that you had a bad night and stop trying to blame everything else, it's going to make things worse. Okay? It's going to make things worse. And we all said Omarion is not a singer. He's a performer, but you're not a singer. Okay? And that is what it is, right? The cracks in your vocal cords, okay? Don't do it. Mario was down here in South Florida last night at the Urban, and he was killing it with vocals. Mario needs to stop it. Not Mario, give Mean Girls. Poor Mario. Poor Mario. Let's move on to Kodak Black. Honey, Kodak Black. First of all, y'all know Kodak Black was the one who was in jail, and he he was in jail, and the orange man is the one who got him out. And I was like, you can't call that man to help you this time. You up here getting arrested again, okay? Now that's that man mugshot. Okay, that's that man mugshot. That's on that man for having a mugshot. Now I'm trying. Where's I thought I had the thing where they said what he did. Um, it's probably on my other phone. But let me hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can pull it up real fast because okay, I'm back, y'all. Oh Lord Jesus, okay. Lord. Um, for 3 minutes, 3 whole minutes, Jesus. I know y'all ain't leave. Thank y'all for sticking around here. Cause y'all know usually if I'm out here, I would usually put the little, you know what I'm saying, the little music on. I would not leave y'all in silence. And I'm like, what is going on, Lord Jesus? Let me start over what I just said. Because I had to find the dang on story because I had to pull up my notes. My service was tripping. No, y'all know if I put y'all on pause, I put the music up. I don't leave folks in silence, okay? Y'all was talking to each other. Lord Jesus, okay. Let me get into what I was saying about that man, okay? So what I was saying was about the Kodak of the Black. Y'all know, again, as I said before, he was pardoned by that orange man. Okay, so I hope he can. Well, I don't hope because that man ain't got no power. But he was riding around, honey. He was riding around in Florida. Let me pull the story back up. Was Lord Jesus? Glad I ain't cut it back off. So Kodak Black was arrested in South Florida on drug trafficking and possession of a controlled substance. Okay, it says he was out here in Florida and the highway patrol people said that he was pulled over because the tints on his windows appeared darker than the legal limit. He was riding around, honey, and they smelled the weed too. So when they smelled the weed, have the the same thing that they say just happened to Boosie. Riding around in the car with them tents and these things they can't see, whatever, they put your ass over. He was in Florida. Anyway, after being put over, they then smelled weed in the car. Okay, so they then had to search the car. So in searching the car, they found 31 white pills, 75,000 in cash. The pills were identified as oxycodone. Okay, and they also found out that not only was he riding around with weed, smoking weed. Not only was he riding around with oxycodone pills that he had no prescription for. Not only was he riding around with 75,000 cash, this fool did not have no his tag on a car, and his license was both expired. He round here riding dirty. Okay, dirty. And it's crazy to me that these celebrities, and I'm using that term loosely, is still around just doing dumb shit. Like, why are you riding around with pills and that much cash on you? For what? Poor K. It doesn't make any sense. Now he was released on bond, but I feel like if you keep getting in trouble, go back to jail. Correct. Yeah, they're making themselves targets because at the end of the day, no one has to, no one can defend you when you are pulled over in a car that has illegal tint on the windows. You were riding around smoking weed, which I'm assuming. I don't know if weed is legal in Florida. I don't know, but you ride around smoking weed, get pulled over in a car that has expired tag. You driving with an expired license. You have $75,000 in cash. I don't know why. Unless you was going to the bank, you sound dumb. Okay, you sound dumb. It doesn't make any sense. I do not get why they do this shit. Okay, right? He want to get locked up. He can't get it right. Okay, I remember he was one of the. It was one of he was one of like the first rappers who say he don't like black dirt. Oh really? Well, go to prison. Oh, so it's not. So, wait. Let me straight. Weed is not legal in Florida either. I do not get this. I swear I don't get it. My thing is this: I get if you smoke weed in a state that it is illegal. I get if you smoke it in your house because the cops is not randomly knocking on doors looking for weed. But why on God's green earth does anyone who knowingly is in a state where it's not legal ride around and smoke weed? You're stupid. You're dumb. It's stupid. It's like, why are you doing this? I'm trying to think. They might like to go. It's a loud music law in Florida. The Florida be tripping. It's still illegal. Oh, really? Ain't not gonna say nothing. You can't get saved. can't get saved. And smoking weed is one thing, but you riding around with a controlled substance. You're supposed to have a prescription for oxy pills. And if you have 30 oxy pills in a plastic bag, that's drug trafficking. You don't even have them in a prescription bottle with your name on it. That's different. If you have a prescription bottle with your name on it, you can't really be, that's a prescription. But you riding around here with 30 of them pills in a goddamn gone Ziploc bag with 75K on you. You are Stu and the ped. And this is the thing. If you caught smoking weed, it may not be that bad. If it's a little fine, that's cool. But if you were smoking weed, but you get caught with pills and cash, you going to jail. It's stupidity. It's like, right, how dumb can you be? Honey, dumber and dumber by the second. I don't get it. I don't get the point of it. Okay. Now that was actually my last story. That was all that I seen. Yep, the stupid loud music law is. But like, what's like? But who tells you how who determines how loud is too loud? Because what if my eardrums is different than your eardrums? What if my eardrums feel like you know I, I can't hear that well? So because I can't hear that well, I need a bit of louder volume. Okay, do I have to have a medical note from my doctor if if my hearing ain't the best? Like, is that what's gonna go? It's so weird. That's a weird ass law. That's a weird ass law. Only because it can depend. Because even not only that, could one cop could feel like something isn't that loud, and another cop, because the cops gonna be fussing now. Who am I? It's so stupid. Florida, y'all be tripping. You hear me? Y'all be tripping. I don't know why uh the laws of Florida is just so different, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna leave that be because I don't live there, I live in Michigan. And we have our own set of bullshit too. But I was like, Lord, the loud music probably drew that that's I wonder. Cause for a fact if he ride around on an expired tag and expired license smoking weed, he playing music loud. He playing music, it. Okay? Not put him in the not put him in the cell with R. Kelly. That is we can't have tent unless you have a prescription for it. You can get a ticket for loud music and definitely arrested for those periods here in Jersey. It's stupid that the cast take photos with just no one needs 75K on them in cash unless you're on your way to buy a car. You want to buy, I don't know, whatever car costs 75K, you want to pay cash. That's the only reason that you're going to buy some high price item, and that's it. But I don't think not nan time is anyone going to buy a high price item when they're also carrying 30 pills on them. It's just stupid. Just stupid. Okay. Right. In a purple car. What kind of Barney shit is that? A purple car with loud music, weed blowing out the windows, and expired tax and expired license. Oh, it's legal to smoke here in Cali, but it's not legal to drive and smoke. It's considered a DUI. I don't think anybody should be driving and smoking or driving and drinking because it doesn't make because it impairs your judgment. That's the crazy part. It impairs so you should not be doing that. Fetty Wap was just saying the other day on the radio station he has houses in places. He has houses in place as he don't even know because he has so much money. Well, that's dumb. They're gonna try to find him in a house and rob him. That's just stupid. A lot of them don't care as long as you got your. God, they what? They can take it. It's stupid. It's stupidity. Okay. But anyway, y'all, that's all I have for y'all today. Okay, I came on here for this little quick afternoon random chit chat because I was like, in case I do not do a video later on, at least I had one up for the day. And what not, because that is the thing to do. So I will talk to y'all either later tonight for Love Emergency, Housewives of Atlanta, or Rita Medicine, or y'all will get all of that stuff tomorrow. Okay. I hope everybody had a great time. Okay, y'all know I'll be popping up now for these little chit chats. Okay, because I feel like I always say when I have the feeling to go live, I'm like, God, saying, girl, somebody got to hear your voices. Go ahead and do it or whatever, even if in your bed, okay? Because I was trying to chill out today because I've been, busy, whatever. But what I'm saying, make sure to subscribe to my channel and make sure to follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner. Y'all know to make sure to like the video. Okay, we have a good time every time we together. Okay, we have a good time every time. Every time we come together around here to the JayBirds corner. Okay, to the JayLees of the corner, to the corner of it all. Okay, we always have a good time with conversation. Okay, conversation. But I will talk to y'all later. Have a great, great day. Enjoy the day. Be safe. Okay, be loved and be amazing. Gotta go. Love y'all. Peace.